Hello guys, this is Crescent here. Today I'll be bringing you my Magicka Templar build for 1 Tamriel patch. And this build is a solo build and is meant to play in a really small group. I say up to 4 players maximum, because this is not a healing build and people expect you to heal as a Templar, but you're not here to do healing, you're here to kill, because of the good burst that you will get from all the sets that I'll be introducing you later on. And yeah, being a Templar, playing solo as a Templar is one of the hardest class to play solo, because of the DPS skill you have, and it's not really reliable to jab people, to kill people with jabs, and that's why I'll be including a lot of damage dealing sets just to help with the output of the damage. Alright, let's get it started then. Start with the items. We'll be running the typical Scoria for Templar, because everything you do is a dot. Almost everything you apply to enemy is a dot as a Templar. That's why Scoria is really good. The good thing about Scoria is it has only a 5-second cooldown with 10k damage, almost 11k damage, which is really awesome. That's why I use it. You would like to use 2 heavy on Scoria, because we'll be using spinner set, 2 light on the belt and the gloves, because they provide the least armor. And yeah, spinner is just a good set. It's just good for because as a heavy armor build you lack damage from penetration, because your penetration, you won't get the penetration passive from light armor. That's why you need to get penetration somewhere else, and spinner provides you that penetration. It's just a good set. Run it 3 on rings, belt and gloves, and the DPS, the deeps that you're gonna push out from all your jabs and your beams will be from Soul Shrine, because it provides 440 spell damage. If you don't have this set, there are few options that are decent, I would say, but Soul Shrine is just the best. Try to get them, try to buy them, try to farm them. Alright, so the first option you have is your Voodoo Dragon Exo. Yeah, it's just good. It's even better if you're running in a small group. Dragon X would be better, because you can rest faster. You have more recovery. Bit of health doesn't hurt as well, with 222 spell damage. This is a solid substitute for Soul Shrine. And another set would be the set from I can't remember where is it from, but it's Better Cage set, which gives you 3 passive bonus for Magicka damage and 1 max Magicka, as far as I know, and you get a built-in major sorcery, which is good, that set, but you can't compare that to the 440 provided from Soul Shrine. That's why Soul Shrine in principle is the highest dealing damage set, I would say. Yeah, you'll be running 3 body Soul Shrine. Try to get them in sturdy or in pen, preferably in pen. You just need maybe 2 less than 3 sturdies on your body, not more than 3. We're running 2 Soul Shrine swords, and the back bar you just need to run any Magicka recovery sets with 2-piece Magicka recovery, preferably sturdy on your shield. Yep. Let's go through the pots really quickly as well. What I'll be using in open world PvP will be your Essence of Immobility. This is just to prevent knockdowns when you do damage, when you're jabbing. It's really irritating when somebody just fear you, somebody just CC you on the way. You can't get that damage out. That's why you need this pot when you're doing the deeps. And yeah, Essence of Health tricep pot, this is obviously you need it when your stamina is low. And Invincible pots, this is really optional, just to run away from Zergs. Yeah, this is a PvE pot, doesn't really matter here. And there's one more I will usually use, which is Detection, just to get some pesky Nightblades away. You know, sometimes they're just cloaking too much. Especially Magicka Nightblades, I'll just pop this and just kill them. Alright, so the food I'll be using is the new food, which is really nice. Yeah, this Witch Mother's Potent Brew. gives you max health, max Magicka, and Magicka recovery. This is really good, really good food for Templars. But if you are really uncomfortable with your 11k max stamina, I would say try to use the tri-stat food and just remove one of the spell damage enchantment and put it into recovery if you're uncomfortable with that low of a stamina pool, but I'm used to it, so it's fine. Alright, let's go to the skills then really quickly. Yeah, your execute, your beam, get closer, toppling charge, your bread and butter DPS, puncture sweeps, your dot to apply scoria. Actually everything, almost every single skill you use can apply scoria, so this is just to apply the dot and the slow. And one more thing is this skill, when you use this skill, it applies major prophecy and minor sorcery for you. That's why refractive light is really good. It's a must have for every Templar actually. Now your major sorcery skill, entropy, your soul assault. This is the must have ulti for this build because you're using the soul shrine build. And yeah, soul shrine, soul assault comes together, right? And the damage is just crazy. 62k unbuff for 3.9 seconds. This is really good against those pesky night blades especially. Even heavy armor will take a lot of damage from this skill, so for this build, this skill is a must have. Obviously you can use Crescent Sweep, but what's the point if you're using Soul Shrine set for channeling spell damage? Crescent Sweep is decent, I would say. The damage is decent, the dot is decent, but it's dodgeable, and I just feel like the damage output from Crescent Sweep just couldn't compare to Soul Assault. Yep, and the back bar, yeah, this is really straightforward as well. Ritual your cleanse, channel focus your buff for major resolve, major ward, and recovers a lot of Magicka in 0.5 seconds, every 0.5 seconds. This is a must have as well. Your heal, breath of life, your blazing speed, your CC, AoE CC with AoE damage as well. When you're defensive, in a defensive posture, you want to use this skill just to CC your opponent. Elusive Mist, just to run away from Zergs. This is a must have as well for Templars in open world. Yeah, Mirroring Swarm. You can use Meteor here as well. I like to use bats because the healing, when three or four guys are hitting on you non-stop, you can't out-heal that damage, and you need bats. Then when you use bats and you pop your immovable pots and you start, you can just let them hit you. You heal back from the bats and from the jabs. That's how I do it usually. Right. About the CP, I'll go through it really quickly because it's pretty obvious. CP, just 60 to reduce cost. Try to max out your recovery. Mooncarve a bit just to recover, just for stamina recovery, just a bit will do. Tumbling a bit just to reduce the cost as well. Shadow Ward, because you'll be blocking some heavy damage, heavy surprise attacks, you know, sneak attacks from Night Blades, so you need this one. Yeah, Blessing, I'm not a healer, so I'm just putting in 25 points. If you're a healer, pump it up to 50, I would say. Elfborn, just a bit of crit. You'll be having 46% crit after fully buff, so crit will be nice as well. Penetration is nice because you're running heavy armor, you lack the penetration. And Elemental Expert is also super important because yeah, it's just the damage. The thing with Shattering Blows, you need 10 points into this because you'll be running Spinner Set. Spinner Set gives you penetration, but against shield, penetration doesn't really matter. You do full damage on shields, that's why a bit of damage increase against shield would be nice as well. Thermal Church, you might need 35 points or more because this is affects your dot damage, which is jabs, which is your beams, your ulti beam, your radiant destruction. So this is really important as well. Vampire's Bane is a dot as well, so this is really important. So in the end of the day, your jabs will do 12% more from Thermal Church, and yeah, 18% more, so it's 30% increased damage, which is really awesome. Alright, crit resistance, obviously you need 30 points. Hardy, maybe a bit less because I'm a Breton, so I got extra Magicka damage reduction, so I put more into Hardy, but usually Hardy you put 70 points and 65 or so into Elemental Defender. don't need anything into thick skin because you can just cleanse the dot. And elemental defender just for the benefit from reducing light and heavy attacks and quick recovery, yeah, just to increase your heals. That's about the CP. And as for the race, any Magicka race will do. Dark Elf, High Elf, I'm a Breton myself, so Breton is decent as well. What else? Argonian might work as well, so this 4 race I would say is really good. Doesn't really matter. Just a Magicka race. You need a Magicka race, that's all. And the Mundus stone I'll be running for this build will be the Thief, because as for my playstyle, I like killing stuff. I don't like running those tanky healers, you know, healing your friends, let them do their stuff. I like to kill it. I like to play solo a lot as well, or in a really small group. Unless I'm raiding, then that's a different story. But because I'm comfortable with this 1800 Magicka recovery at the moment, bear in mind that when you put down Ritual, you'll get 120 0.5 seconds Magicka recovery. That is about 240 per second, which this is every 2 seconds. That's why with that skill, with Ritual, you get 400, and at the end of the day your Magicka recovery with 2200, which is a lot more than enough if you know how to sustain it, if you know how to keep up your Ritual. But if you're uncomfortable with Thief, you feel like you're running out of Magicka a lot, just go for Atronaut. You get more than 2k, 2.2k if I'm not mistaken. With Ritual you have more than enough, but I like the crit increase, which is 36 now, and after I apply Vampire's Bane it's going to be 46, which is really decent. Yep, that's about it actually. I'll just quickly buff up my damage and see how much it will be. Alright, so you get 25k and 46% crit. 25k will definitely increase if you do a light attack, another 300 increase. With a heavy armor ref passive, another 200 plus damage increase. And with all those increase in damage, you'll be like about 3.2k, I would say. Yeah, 3.2k. At the end of the day, the maximum damage you can do out is 3.2k spell damage. But that is really deceiving, because the real damage comes from spell penetration. You have another 4,000 more than any other heavy armor users, heavy armor Templar. So that is another, I did the maths, and it's about 350 weapon damage from 4k extra spell penetration. And you have to remember, take in the fact that that doesn't include that 440 spell damage you get from Soul Shrine in your stat sheets. That's another 440, and your proc set Scoria, which occur every 5 seconds, that's another burst damage. That's why this build is so good for soloing, because the damage output is just insane. It's one of the, I would say, one of the highest damage output for Magicka Templar, for solo build of course. And one last tip you can do for the back bar, because it doesn't really matter what you put on the back bar. So if you're running in a small group, because what is the OP ulti now is the Destro ulti. Everyone knows it because it's really so damn good. So you can just put a, for example, you can just put a Destro stuff, Inferno Destro stuff, maybe defending because you're using it on your back bar, and just use it here on your back bar, and just include the ulti on your back bar. So instead of the AoE from bats, you get the AoE from Eye of the Flame, which is, this skill needs a nerf, that's all. It's so good that sometimes I even drop my sword and board just for this ulti, because it's just too damn good. Yep, like usual, I'll be posting my gameplay videos, 1vx and 1v1s videos in next 2 or 3 days, and hopefully you will look forward to that. And yeah, see you guys in Serial, and have fun. Bye bye.